This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
Today is the final episode in our fan favorite movie review lineup for the month of April. We hope you've enjoyed these. We're talking The Birthday Wish, which originally premiered on Hallmark January 21st, 2017.
Woo!
Yeah, 8 years ago. Another deep cut. We would love for you to follow us on Instagram. We are Girls Gone Hallmark. Keep up with Hallmark news. Keep up with us. Never miss a thing. Girls Gone Hallmark on Instagram.
Come on over to our Facebook group, Girls Gone Hallmark. You can search it in Facebook groups. Give it a, what happens? A join. And somebody will let you in.
Do.
One of our wonderful admins will let you in.
That's right. Finally, email us girlsgonehallmark@gmail.com for future listener mailbag episode submissions. Tell us what you thought of this lineup of movies. Did you have a favorite among our fan favorites? Were you surprised by any of our thoughts? What do you think of the May lineup of movies? Because it's bleak for people that have been covering the Hallmark Plus new releases. We have some new additions to our Girls Gone Hallmark lineup to announce very soon. So stay tuned for those. Let's hear a synopsis of The Birthday Wish.
On her birthday, a woman who desperately wants her boyfriend to propose to her wishes for the opportunity to see into the future with surprising results.
The Birthday Wish was written by Julie Sherman-Wolfe. You know her, you love her. She has 40 writing credits, including Taking a Shot at Love, A Holiday Spectacular, and Holiday Touchdown, A Chief's Love Story.
You know, by the way, I did not realize I've written a pretty extensive blog post about Julie Sherman-Wolfe, and while watching this movie, I saw her name come up, and I was like, oh, I didn't know she wrote this one. So pleasantly surprised when I saw her name in the opening credits. Peter DeLuise directed this project. Peter has directed 54 projects, most recently serving as director on When Calls the Heart. His other projects include Hanukkah on Rye and Falling for You.
Jessy Schram stars as Gwen. This is one of Jessy's 66 acting credits. She's kept busy on Chicago Med, where she's appeared in 69 episodes. For Hallmark, she has also appeared in Mystic Christmas and A Nashville Christmas Carol.
It's been a minute since she's been on Hallmark. She's busy with Chicago Med, doing her thing over there. Luke Macfarlane plays Dave. Luke's acting resume contains 42 credits, including both Hallmark and outside projects. For Hallmark, he is currently leading the reality renovation series Where the Heart Is, and has appeared in fan favorite movies like Taking a Shot at Love and Catch Me If You Claws. You can find him elsewhere in movies like Bros and the series Platonic on Apple TV.
Marcus Rosner plays Alex. If we had to say which Hallmark movie among his 63 credits is our favorite, we would probably say it's Falling for You, where he stars opposite Ashley Williams. He also has the honor of checking a number of Girls Gone Hallmark bingo spaces, appearing in Once Upon a Time, Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce, and Unreal.
Cardi Wong plays Greg. We know Cardi from his roles as Jen. Jen? Or
I think it's Gwen.
Remember? Yeah. We were going back and forth about that on The Chicken Sisters, as well as his role in Tip Line Mysteries, Dial 1 for Murder.
David James Lewis has a wild 271 acting credits. We immediately recognized him from Jingle Bell Run, but lately he's also been in School Spirits and When Calls the Heart. Let's take a quick break, and we are going to come right back with our first impressions of The Birthday Wish. Hey, Wendy, what's your first impression of The Birthday Wish?
So I thought this movie was much better than February's The Wish Swap, and I gave that movie 4 stars. So
better birthday movie.
Better birthday movie of the two, I think.
My first impression is somebody find that giant cookie for me, please. It's bigger than her whole head.
I like a big cookie. Remember like those cookies from you could get at the mall? with like the frosting on them. Mrs.
Girl,
Fields?
do you know what I was just going to say?
Tell
I was
me.
going to say, have you seen the new trend of cookie cakes all over TikTok?
No.
Well, it's that. They've come a long way. I've seen so many of them that I've become convinced that I could make my own, and I want to make one for my upcoming children's birthdays. One of them would like it, one of them wouldn't. I just it's a cake, it's a cookie with frosting. They're so cute.
Wait, but how? It's not flat, right?
Sure, it's flat.
No, is it just a cookie then with frosting on top of it?
Well,
How do you make it to a cake?
Well, that's what they were called they were called cookie cakes when they were in like the Mrs. Fields.
Hold on, I'm pulling up TikTok. I need to see what a cookie cake looks like.
But what people will do is they will stack two. So you will like do like a letter or a number, and then you do some frosting in between the two layers, and then you decorate the top.
Oh, like they're making it in a sheet pan?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And then you cut it into the shape of your choice.
Oh,
It doesn't look that hard, right? I mean, the frosting part would be hard, but
well, especially if you've never like decorated anything, but
not since high school. I took
but
a cookie decorating. We had class, but how hard could it be?
It can't be that hard.
Get like those cute little tips at Michael's and some pastry bags.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's going to taste good no matter what.
But some of these are really cute though. Oh, there's one in mini square cookie pans, like tin foil pans, and you can make like individual ones. Oh,
that's cute.
Have your daughter's friends decorate their own.
That feels like a lot of because it's really only cute when they come out of the piping bags.
Yeah. I think so
And
too.
then you got to have like a lot of piping bags and tips.
Okay, don't do that then. But these are really cute.
But I don't hate the idea of the individual squares. But anyway, the idea is people would typically do them like you would do like a 15, like a 1. I was going to say a 1 and a 5 as if you couldn't figure that out for yourself. Mm-hmm. Or they cut them out in the shape of a letter. Or some, like this one you just sent me, she has some that are just straight up rectangles, like decorated like a cake.
Yeah.
We are so off target here, but I really want to attempt to make a cookie cake. And worst case scenario, like we just eat it at our house because it's just going to be a cookie and frosting. How bad could it be?
Sure. Yeah. How did we start talking about cakes?
We were talking about the giant cookie and then...
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Let's get back to the movie.
What did you like?
Well, I did think this was a really fun storyline.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the movie overall. I thought that the payoff at the end feels earned. I especially love Jessy Schram and Luke Macfarlane in these roles. Like, I forget how much I like Jessy, like because she's not in that many movies. Mystic Christmas was the last one. Loved her in that. I did like A Nashville Christmas Carol as well. She's just adorable, natural, super likable, super cute. I thought Luke was great. And I know Luke, reported that he got tired of playing these kind of roles, but he's so damn funny and charming in this one.
He's
I
so
just
good.
Loved him. I thought they had great chemistry. Good casting. Yeah, I did like it. I also liked Marcus Rosner. Now I do feel bad that he got like the terrible narcissistic boyfriend.
Sure.
He played it well though. And I just think back when we saw him on stage in Kansas City and he really wowed me with like his personal stories about Christmas time. And I think he's really good. I hate saying this, but I want him to be a lead in better movies.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of the work he does is with his own production company. I mean, he's certainly on Hallmark, but I don't think he gets enough opportunity to shine on Hallmark. I wanted to piggyback on a couple of the other things that you said, starting with Jessy Schram. She always delivers. I remember when we first started Girls Gone Hallmark, that movie, A Nashville Christmas Carol, was pretty early on in our lineup. Mm-hmm. And I remember we were like, is that Jessy Schram or is it Anna Camp, right?
Oh, yeah.
That confusion is completely gone. Jessy Schram stands alone. She's a star. I think she's fun and light and really good on screen. But remember when we talked about Bethany Joy Lenz recently in Royal Matchmaker, you talked about how she makes the distinction in your mind between actors and Hallmark actors,
Mm-hmm.
and a difference, whatever the difference may be. I think Jessy Schram is another one of those where she is an actor who does well on Hallmark, but is not purely a Hallmark actor.
Right.
Your comment about Luke Macfarlane, like, to me, I'm like, oh, it's baby Luke Macfarlane. I thought it was great to see him. I know it was only 8 years ago, but it feels like 1 million years ago. And it also feels like it's miles and miles from the Luke we know now. And I like both Lukes. I like this classic Hallmark movie Luke a lot. Look, I like the new Luke. I love him on Platonic. I love his new show, Where the Heart Is. I think it's real fun. But this Hallmark Luke was pretty great.
I think so too. He doesn't disappoint to me in anything
No.
that he's in. Never ever. I never go, he was fine, but it should have been somebody else. Never. I always enjoy him in his movies, in his roles he plays.
I really loved speaking of his role, I really love the character of Dave. And I like how he's not really being coy about his affection for
Gwen.
For Gwen, thank you. I mean, he lays it all out on the table. He's talking about them being good partners. She's like, at work. And he was like, and other places too. Like, he's really clear about the fact that he likes her and he's putting it on the table and he thinks her boyfriend's a buffoon. And he just continues to show up in really sweet ways for her. And there's not really any confusion. We're not trying to figure out, like, what did he mean? Kind of like Dating the Deleneys, where Paul Campbell's character doesn't really, even though the Rachel Boston best friend character is like, there's no such thing as a practice date, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not really putting it out there. Rachel Boston's character isn't really like fully aware of the vibe. Here, Luke. Dave is putting it all out there. It's real clear what's happening. And now it's up to Gwen's character to make something of it. And I love a straightforward man.
Yeah, so do I. But let me ask you though, because you hate a storyline where there is another person involved, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, right? And did you hate that Dave was pursuing Gwen even though she had a boyfriend?
No, it's in my wishes to talk about the relationship. But no, I didn't hate that he was pursuing her. Now, maybe it's unfair. I didn't find him to be behaving inappropriately. Okay, he like brought her a cookie for her birthday and he brought her flowers. I think he was putting it out there like, yo, I'm here. He wasn't physically pursuing her. And at no point did she make it seem like something starts to happen and she was like, I can't do this. I'm still in a relationship, and he backed off. If it were a woman, would we call her a homewrecker? Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
But maybe Luke gets a pass. I don't know. It didn't bother me. And quite frankly, I didn't feel like it was on him to decide what was appropriate and what was not.
Gotcha. I have just a few more little likes. I love me a magical realism storyline. I loved it.
Yes, ma'am.
I loved it in The Magic of Lemon Drops. I love it here. I don't know. I would have never have characterized myself as someone who likes that genre, but I really do. I really like it a lot. I very much connected to Gwen's obsession with planning things as a mechanism to gain control, or a sense of control. I just felt that was very relatable to me. And finally, I thought this movie had Julie Sherman Wolfe written all over it. Sharp, witty dialogue, self-awareness. It was a fresh-ish traditional storyline. Had like an energy that, I think maybe movies didn't have so much in 2017 on Hallmark.
Yeah, there's no way this came out in 2017. People weren't going like, oh, what do we have here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my final is just the Julie Sherman Wolfe of it all. The comedy, there's some really funny lines. Like when Marcus Rosner's character is like, I'm going to be an actor. She's like, oh, you got the lead? And he's like, nope, I have 2 lines. Just there's so much of that infused throughout. So fun.
Agree.
Let's talk wishes.
Well, I hated that this successful, smart, cute, fun gal was wishing so hard to be proposed to.
Digging through her food for a ring.
Ugh, stop it. It just was her whole personality. She had so much going for her. I just was a little put off that she was like so obsessed with like, where's the ring? This guy was not the guy.
100% echoes one of my wishes. My notes say she was a badass at work and a complete wuss in her relationship. Speaking of her relationship, I really wish she would have broken up with Alex sooner. He was very clearly not the guy. He was stringing her along. He knew what she wanted. He wasn't able to get it. He was narcissistic. But at the same time, my notes also say justice for Marcus Rosner. And I just keep calling him Marcus Rosner. Even though I'm talking about Alex here. Alex, yes, is a little to a lot self-absorbed. He was not the right guy for her. I don't actually think he's a bad guy. I don't think he was a good boyfriend, but I don't think he's evil. When we first meet him, I'm like, oh, he's just kind of a buffoon. He's just kind of, he's not going to be the guy. There's not going to be anything aspirational about him. But I also don't think he deserved the way in which he was kind of strung along, because she just had this vision of, I mean, they were stringing each other along, but I think she just had this vision of the perfect life. And she was like, well, I'm so much closer to it with Alex as opposed to Dave, who I hardly even know. To me, it felt like she was like, I'm going to stay in this relationship until I get this vision of what I want, while still allowing her relationship with Dave to grow. I just wanted them to end this relationship sooner.
Yeah, me too. I think that the character of Alex, for me, like, he was a buffoon. I had a hard time understanding like what Gwen saw in him.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, now that leads me to wonder, was she just wanting to get engaged to be engaged, not because she was actually in love with him?
Well, have a little self-respect.
Yeah, exactly.
When that other woman gets engaged at the restaurant and she's just looking on sadly, I literally shouted at my screen, leave him. This relationship is over.
Yeah, I agree. One other thing that I didn't really love is that they were putting so much emphasis on Gwen turning 30. And for me, I'm like, it's just like furthers that narrative. Like 30's old and women are running out of time. And like, don't do that. Don't do that is what I'm saying.
I have one final wish. And it is, I needed a little more closure on the eye doctor storyline.
Oh, yeah.
I just kind of maybe wanted her to return to him and have him like even just offer her like a little wink and a nod that they were in on something together, that he had helped facilitate her seeing her future. I didn't need like a long drawn out explanation of his role. I just wanted something there to wrap that all up.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Are you ready for Dude to see that?
I am, but I don't have any.
Oh, okay.
Not
well,
one.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. First up, they're playing with the puppies, and Dave's like, he's just teething. You can't even feel it. Lies. Puppy teeth are like shark teeth. They do hurt. Are they going to hurt you? Like, they're not going to cause actual harm, but they will break your skin. They will make you bleed, and their teeth are like little needles.
Yes, agree.
She's like, that was bad at all. I'm like, you're a liar.
Yeah, but that sweet puppy breath, though.
I know. Oh, they're so in their tummies. I know. In the s'mores scene, Gwen and Dave are there together and they are talking to that older couple. Gwen gets up to leave and they like shoot to Dave sitting by the fire pit and he's all alone. Like you can see the other benches and there's nobody there. And then Gwen comes back. Dave's gone, but the couple's there. And it was weird because like I felt like the couple didn't leave and come back. You know what I mean? Like they just, there was like a continuity error there.
Yes.
I just think it's an oopsie. The final one is from IMDb because Gwen comments, sarcastically, an ad agency from 1961. And Jessy Schram was in Mad Men,
Was she?
a show about an ad agency in the 1960s.
That's
She played
funny.
Bonnie Whiteside, a real estate girlfriend of Pete Campbell.
That is a show I never watched.
Me either.
I wonder if we should.
Maybe Mad Women. Review podcast by Megan Lady. Some things can just be for fun, Megan. Hey, what did you rank The Birthday Wish?
I gave it 4 stars.
I also gave it 4 stars.
Look at that.
I thought this was a good time.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark, and thank you for helping make this month's series of episodes a reality with your suggestions in our Facebook group. We're Girls Gone Hallmark, a Bramble Jam podcast, and we'll be back next time with more Hallmark reviews. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.